You want to go swimming? So it took us a little while to get going this morning. Admittedly, I was up quite a bit last night, but we're gonna go take Bo for a walk down to the Wiggly Bridge because that's just an easy place for him to go for a walk. And then I gotta pick up something to eat for lunch. I don't really have anything planned for today, so see how it goes, as usual. Well, this looks a tad different than it has the past couple times we've come here. A little dry down there. Usually the water's all the way up to here. I suppose we could walk from that trail down here and he could go swimming in that. We'll have to figure this one out. Usually when we come here, this entire area is underwater. So I don't know if they opened the floodgates on the dam or what, but we're standing where water usually is. Come on. Well, that was sort of interesting because the place that we normally go down the trail over the Wiggly Bridge, we actually had to walk quite a ways to get to where the water is. And the spot that we went to first in the last video was basically just sand. So we had to walk quite a ways to get down to where Bo could actually go into the water. But it's definitely lower than it has been the last couple of times that we've come up here. And it's all been within the last 2 months. The first time we came up was July 1st to the 4th, I think. And then the second time was the 14th to the 18th of July. And it's currently August 4th today, I think. Yeah, August 4th today. So it's amazing what can change over the course of a couple weeks. He still got to go swimming, or go into the water anyways. You hot? Yeah. There you go, boy. You about ready to go to the beach? Happy Tuesday, folks. Today we're heading to Fort Foster Park. It's in Kittery, Maine. It's about a 40-ish minute drive from where we're staying in Wells. From what I've read online, it's an old military post, old military fort. They are doing some construction work, so I'm not sure how much of it is accessible and what's kind of closed down. Online it does say stuff about the pier being closed down, but hopefully there's something to do. It's pet friendly, and it's definitely something different. We haven't gone there at all on any of our trips up to Maine, so looking forward to seeing something a little bit different. It's a little overcast, cloudy out, and the air quality is not the best. Thanks, Bo. It is dog friendly, something to do, so I am excited to see what they've got to offer up there. It is a paid park entrance, so it's about $25 per day to get into there. I'm gonna go to the park. Anyway, Kittery is the entry point to Maine, basically. I mean, it's not the very first town you come into, but it's pretty close by. And they've also got this store down there called Yummies Candy that I'd like to go check out. My grandparents check it out, go in there almost every time they come up here. From what I've seen, like, one of the largest displays of candy ever that you'll see. Like, every candy, sugary, sweet brand known to man is available at Yummies, so we'll try to get some footage of that too if we decide to go in there. All right, we've got about a 37-minute drive. Traffic is backed up as usual on this little stretch on Post Road here in Wells, so it might take us a little bit longer to get there. So we just passed the Wiggly Bridge. It was pretty packed on the way past it. Maybe we'll stop there on the way back though. Bo was pretty excited when we started driving past it. But we've got about 10 minutes left in the drive before we get to Fort Foster Park. I think the only downside about today is with the wildfires going on in Canada, the air quality is pretty trash. In fact, the weather app says it's worse than it was yesterday. And the clouds are kind of covering, or the smoke is kind of covering most of the sky. So it's not a very bright and sunny day out, but he's pretty excited to go to the park. So we'll see what happens when we get there. I think I'm gonna mount the Ace camera onto my chest while we do a little walk around. Makes it easier to film stuff that way. And it frees up my hands to walk Bo and, you know, walk around without holding the camera. I'm able to capture a little bit more, so we will see it when we get there. Bobo, are you excited to go to the park? Are you excited to go for a walk at the park? Okay. There you go, boy.
Entry fee is $25. I've got tap and chip.
I think that's got tap.
And would you like a receipt today?
Please.
Absolutely.
Bobo, you want to go in the water? No? So that was my mistake, going into that little field to let Bo go to the bathroom. It was filled with about 1 million mosquitoes. They latched onto me, well, like you would expect 1 million mosquitoes to. I've got bites all over my legs and my arms, and it itches like a bastard. This is nice though, because we're, you know, down at the beach during the day, or what I'll call the beach. Dogs are allowed down here, and no people. Yeah, I kind of got ate up by them mosquitoes. My best guess is where we're standing now is usually all underwater, just based off of how wet the sand is over there. So I think we came at the right time, low tide. Clouds being out, a little overcast day. It's beautiful weather. If I had to guess, it's probably 75, 80 degrees with a nice breeze coming from the ocean. Basically the perfect time to come and do something like this. And there's plenty of beach to walk around on because the water's all the way back over there. What's funny is I didn't even know about this place until 15 minutes before we were about to leave, looking up some dog-friendly places to go up here in Maine. And just so happened to come across Fort Foster Park. Said, what the hell, we'll take a drive up, down, see what it's about. I'm glad we did. It can get kind of difficult finding different things to do, especially when you're trying to stay within 45 minutes to an hour of where we're staying. Obviously, I want things to do with Bo. There's plenty of things to do up here if you don't bring a dog, but then what's the point? The whole point of these trips is to, you know, get out of the house, get out of the shop, and take Bo on some adventures that I've just kind of been neglecting over the last 10 years. Eight and a half years since I've had him. And so far, I mean, we've been able to find a lot of good places to go that let you bring dogs, which is awesome. But it kind of gets repetitive on video if we're going to the same places over and over again. Like the Wiggly Bridge is a great spot to bring him, but how many times do you want to see the Wiggly Bridge? No, seriously, how many times do you want to see the Wiggly Bridge? Because I could go back there every day. You know, the beach walk's probably my favorite part of the trips. Obviously, the nighttime ice cream, I love, Bo loves, but, you know, it's the same beach. How many times do you want to see the same beach? I'm honestly looking for your feedback, so let me know down in the comments below if you mind seeing the same things over and over again in a little bit of a different way, or if you want us to go a little further out, maybe explore Hampton Beach, go up to Portland, Kennebunk. What do you want to see while we're up on vacation in Maine? Because this isn't going to be my last trip for the year. I probably plan at least one more at the end of August or middle of September. So I want to get your feedback because, well, the videos kind of are for me and my family. You know, they're for you too. So let me know what you want to see while we're up on vacation, probably the next time, because this video won't go out until we're already back from vacation. But yeah, interested to get your opinion. Any places you want me to go check out? We'll probably go back to Nubble Light before we leave from this trip. It's Tuesday right now. We're not leaving until Sunday morning, so we've got plenty of time to go and explore a whole bunch of different places, maybe at different times of the day. I know the last time we went to Nubble Light, it was pretty packed, so I captured a few clips of Bo doing his thing, but aside from that, you know, it's mainly stuff on the beach, walks. I can't really go into any of the eateries or establishments up here with him, so any food that we get, anything that I get to enjoy after the fact is back at the motel or, you know, sitting in the car eating ice cream and stuff like that. So we're gonna continue on this little walk back. I do want to go up to that bunker or post, whatever the place was at the beginning when we walked in, climb up on top of there and see what that's all about. But aside from that, we're just going to be walking around here for an hour or two, and then we'll maybe check out the Wiggly Bridge on the way back home. You go up this way? Come on. This way. Little military outlook. Careful. Aren't you tired or something? You would like to get back out again? Who knew this area was so beautiful? I mean, Maine in general is pretty gorgeous, but nice little trail here at Fort Foster Park. Just up the road a little ways, they've got kayaking here, which obviously I'm not going to do with him because I'd end up overboard, so would he. But they call this the Rocky Beach, I think. Just a really nice, quiet trail to walk down. They got benches and picnic areas, a pavilion you can rent out. Hey, there's the sun coming out. Yeah, this is beautiful up here. And it's nice too, because a lot of the people here also have dogs walking around, so Bo can meet some friends that he'll never see again. And if you're here with a group of people, you can venture out, camp out a little bit. I think there's a pavilion up this way. Yeah, nice little pavilion. You can rent out a little watchtower up here too. And I think it all loops back around to the same parking lot area. But we've walked a little over 2 miles today. We have our nightly beach walk that we're gonna do a little bit later on, probably down at Drake's Island, just because at night that beach is a little bit less crowded. I think we're gonna find our way back to the parking lot, get in the car, maybe pop by the Wiggly Bridge depending on how busy it is. When we drove past it before, it was quite crowded, so we'll see when we get there. We're about 45 minutes from where we're staying right now, so I'm gonna look for some other things to do in this area. I'm gonna go check out Yummies before we leave Kittery, and I'll take you along with me. Come on this way.
Lamb. Yeah, but it's pretty nice.
Kids, let's wrap it up, okay? One minute. I think that's what I was
I didn't give you the answer after you.
Yeah, I did.
No? I don't know. Like it's my room. No, no.
Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, scissors. Scissors.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One of the few times I would root for Yarmouth.
So that place was mobbed, as you probably could see. And as comfortable as it might be filming on a beach, it is a little awkward when there's about 40 people in there and you're wearing a camera on your chest. I guess that's something that takes time to get used to. I'm fine doing it inside of a motel room or on a public walk, but when you're inside of a store, it gets a little awkward. Over on the Mountain Maker channel, where I'm in my own shop doing 3D printing stuff, it's one thing. I'm in the car filming Bo, filming me. It's one thing. But yeah, pick up a camera and go walk into a public place and start filming things. you'll see what I mean. I'm a big Sour Patch guy, so I picked up 2 bags of Sour Patch Kids, and of course, because we're in Maine, I had to get some Maine saltwater taffy. So I'm gonna have a sugar rush or sugar high for the next couple of days by the looks of it. We're gonna head back to the motel up in Wells. It's about 3 o'clock right now. As usual, beach hours for the dog aren't open until 6 tonight. So we'll do our nightly beach walk, have some dinner, and call it a night probably. I'm not sure, I don't really have anything planned for tomorrow or the rest of the week. Tomorrow's Wednesday, for me anyway, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. Today's trip was just kind of on a whim, looking up things to do before we left the motel, and found Fort Foster Park and had a great time there, so I'm sure I can figure something else out tomorrow or maybe look it up tonight. But aside from that, we're gonna head back to the motel, probably gonna grab something to eat because I'm starving and haven't eaten anything all day. Probably will set my dinner back a couple of hours, but that's all right. That's what we're here for, right? Pigging out and stuff that I normally wouldn't do when I'm home. You tired? Yeah, you a little sleepy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're a little sleepy. I know. He's basically falling asleep laying here in the car. Alright, stopped at Brown's Clam Shanty for a bite of their delicious roast beef 3-way and some french fries. So this will be like I guess an early dinner. Of course, I'm probably still gonna eat something after this, but I can't get me enough of these things. If you're ever in the area, definitely try the roast beef 3-way up at Brown's Clam Shanty, if you're not into seafood like me. Happy Wednesday. We're gonna go check out Nubble Light. I know we've been there before, but it's a nice little walk for him down under the rocks. There's a little restaurant next door that I didn't check out the last time, so I think we're gonna check that out. And then down in Kittery, a little bit further south from York, there is a brewery called Woodland Farms Brewery, and they've got some non-alcoholic beers there. So we're gonna go check that out. They're pet friendly. They let your dogs inside, outside at the table. So I thought that would be pretty cool. Plus it gets us out of Wells and down into York, Kittery, towards the New Hampshire border. So that is what's on the books for today. Nothing else to do but to do it. So from our little hike yesterday, my legs are incredibly itchy. I got bit probably 50 times by those mosquitoes at Fort Foster. I definitely should have brought bug spray. Last night wasn't so bad, but waking up this morning is kind of miserable. So the places that I was looking at, I tried to avoid areas where the reviews specifically said bring bug spray, because I forgot my bug spray back at home. And I'm trying to avoid areas that are like super trail heavy and grassy. I do want to go back to Rachel Carson National Wildlife Refuge, but I may need to run to the store first and pick up some bug spray, because although it wasn't too bad last time, the thought of adding to what I've got on my legs right now doesn't sound very fun. So as you might have been able to see there, Nubble Light is insanely busy today. There's a couple groups that are kind of on the lawn and people painting. The restaurant next to it is absolutely mobbed. So note to self, and for anybody who might be looking to come up to Maine, end of June, beginning of July, not so bad. If you want kind of the place to yourself, for lack of a better word. August though, middle August, beginning of August, just be prepared for things to take a little bit longer and for the place to be a little bit busier. Especially if you're somebody who's bringing pets along with you. Bo was super excited to see the place, but it would have been too much walking around other people. A few other dogs there, but lots of people there painting, having little picnics on the grass, and yeah, just a little bit busy for my tastes anyway. So we're gonna go check out, well, we've been there 100 times. We're gonna go to the Wiggly Bridge, let Bo get some of his energy out, and then maybe go to the Woodland Farms Brewery. is a little muddy down here today. Why don't you come this way? Water's up a little bit higher than it was yesterday or the day before. Usually though, it's up to there on the rock wall. Not quite where it's usually at. This way. This way. This wiggly bridge doesn't even faze Bo. I'm not sure he knows it's even wiggling because he runs across it so fast. Hello. Come on. This way. So this spot right here is actually where I turned around the first time we came down here. The GPS led me down this road and there's a house over there. So I backed up right into this spot. I didn't know that you could technically park here and start your walk this way. So we're gonna go back the way we just came and follow the path that those two ladies were walking down. And if I'm not mistaken, this path that we're on now leads us over to the trail or the spot that I usually take Bo. Right down there. Again, it's kind of low tide, so it's not as, the water's not as far up as it usually is, but we should still be able to go down there and let him go into whatever water's available. Yeah, I think we usually cut down one of these little paths here. And the water's usually kind of up to this green spot, but that's not the case today. You're usually swimming right here. Definitely higher than it was the other day when we came up, though. Although much muddier than it was the other day. Where you going? Come this way. Come this way. I decided to not bring Bo in there. There's only one other person inside of there right now, but it's kind of busy here. We've got about a 45 minute drive back to Wells. So by the time we get back there, it'll be about 4 o'clock. I'll probably get dinner at New England House Restaurant. Like I said before, I'm kind of eyeing a burger today. So that is kind of the plan for the remainder of the day. Then we'll head on down to the beach for our nightly beach walk a little bit later on. Gonna try to do after 7:30. Hopefully the beach traffic has died down a little bit, because last night when we went, we ended up taking the right path instead of going left when we get down there like we normally do, that takes you down to the jetty towards Drake's Island. We went right, and that kind of takes you up. It's not really a private beach area, but it's definitely more private than the other side. Typically when there's high tide, you can't actually walk that way because it's the water comes right up to the rock wall. So by the time we got back, it was actually getting close for us not being able to walk back up to where we came from. But it was definitely a much quieter walk. There was only a couple people there. There's a lot more homes that are pretty much directly on the beach with stairwells that lead right down to where we were. But you get a much smaller section of the beach to walk on instead of going left like we normally do, where you've got, 50, 100 feet of beachfront before you hit the water. You only had about 15 or 20 feet of the beach where we went last night. So it was definitely a more peaceful walk, but there was a lot more seaweed and ocean debris, I guess, that was washing up onto the shore that we had to walk around. Anyway, I'm starving. We're gonna head back towards Wells and see if we can find something to eat along the side of the road. That sounded weird. Probably go into the motel for a little bit, get Bo some food, then head next door to New England House restaurant so I can get myself a burger and some chicken fettuccine.